as the imam in Pennsylvania or the guy in Pennsylvania. So why are we doing interfaith dialogue, intercultural dialogue? It's because Mr. Gülen has encouraged us to do so. And why did he encourage us to have dialogue? It's because it says in the Quran, it says, "O people, we created you all from a single man and a single woman into tribes and races so that you should get to know one another." In other words, you should have dialogue. And it's funny, I learned this from a Jewish friend at a Jewish synagogue. So it's remarkable, through these dialogue activities, you get to learn more about yourself. So it's so meaningful to have all these activities we are having. So with dialogue, we are trying to achieve meaningful interaction between people of different backgrounds along social, cultural, and religious dimensions. How? By bringing people together, as tonight, through activities and conversations. And the purpose is to have honest engagement and increased mutual understanding. So what type of activities are we doing? So for example, this year we had 9 iftar dinners during Ramadan. So in Ramadan we fast all day for a month, from sunset until sunrise until sunset. Thank you. And you know, the meaning of iftar dinner, breaking the fast, is that it should be done with other people, with friends, families, and here we had 9 events, and we did it with all kinds of different people. We had a dozen partner organizations, among them some are churches, mosques, synagogues, and libraries. And more than 1,200 people attended these iftar dinners. So it was people from all different backgrounds. It was remarkable. Annually, we join events. We partner with other institutions that does various activities. For example, once a year, we join Interfaith Concert held in Westchester to honor Martin Luther King. Another example, this past week, we had an event at a synagogue. The topic was comparison of Quran and Torah. We choose one topic and we compare the two holy texts. There are similarities, there are differences. So the goal is to understand them both. And it was a remarkable event. This time the topic was Prophet Joseph. So Peace Island Institute, there's a Peace Island Institute. We were part of a broader Peace Island Institute, which has offices in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and now we are Peace Island Institute New York, so we are a separate legal entity, and we just received our 501c3 status this year. We are active here, we are active in Manhattan and in Westchester. So we have 2 distribution lists. If you are getting us emails from us, if you are getting 2 same emails from us, it could be that you might be on 2 different distribution lists. So, you know, wherever your interests are, wherever you are located, let us know and we will add you to the relevant distribution list. If you are not, please join our distribution list and we will let you know of our activities. And now back to Mr. Emre. We are very honored to have him join our team. Emre is an accomplished scholar. He used to be the president at Rumi Forum in Washington, D.C. area. Rumi Forum is very similar in its mission and activities as Peace Island Institute, and I always admired what they had done. Emre is very active in social media. If you use Twitter, You can follow him. He's very active. Over there, he had accomplished a lot. For example, he helped organize the first Eid reception in the White House in 2014, and he did a welcome speech there. So we all, in the peace science community, we all have accents. It's Turkish accent. So the rule doesn't break with Emre. He has an accent too, but fortunately that's Australian accent, and it's probably more understandable than Turkish accent. Emre had his Bachelor of Science education in engineering at the University of Technology in Australia. Then his Master of Education in Charles Darwin University, again in Australia. And he is currently doing his PhD in Islamic Studies at Charles Sturt University, again in Australia. So Emre was an interfaith and religious studies teacher in Sirius College in Australia. After that, he was an ED at Executive Director at Australian Intercultural Society. And after that, he was a president at Rumi Forum in Washington, D.C. So in his first job as a teacher, he did that for about 2 years. In his next job, he worked for 4 years. And at Rumi Forum, he worked for 10 years. And you see the pattern there? So we are hoping that Emre will be with us for the next 2 decades. He's doubling his tenure at each successive position. So thank you, Emre, for joining us. And what happened to our previous director? He's Süleyman. Süleyman, I call him Süleyman the Magnificent. He's not going anywhere. He's on the board. We put him on the board, so he's still with us, and you will see him as well. And thank you, Emre.
Thank you very much. Let me start with a quote by Rumi. I assume that most of you, or many of you, have heard of Rumi. Rumi is a well-regarded mystic poet from the 1300s. His tomb is regularly visited. His tomb is in Konya in Turkey. And a little bit of trivia regarding Rumi is his poetry is read more than any living or deceased American poet's works here in the United States. So there's something about Rumi's love of the other, love of his fellow human being. So, and I quote, "Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground." End of quote. Each one of you represent one of the hundreds of ways we show our love to our fellow human being through the positive works that we are involved in. I am privileged to be among you today and going forward, doing my little bit to hold the torch and the vision of what this organization stands for. Please embrace me like you have embraced Peace Islands Institute. Let us change the world one person at a time. Let the streets of New York City overflow with a shocking kind of love that will heal the hearts and minds of all those that make contact. Let our passion drive us, and let our collaboration be a means for role modeling the beauty that is the mosaic of our shared humanity. I believe there are two kinds of people in the world, friends and potential friends. I say jokingly there's a third kind in Washington, D.C., but we don't talk about that. So there are two kinds, officially. Let there be no other kind, particularly as we traverse time during this difficult period in human history. I'm thankful for the warmth I've received, both from my colleagues and you today. I look forward to walking this path together. I'm humbled and privileged, and I'm thankful. Have a lovely evening. Thank you very much. please enjoy the rest of the food. All right? Thank you again.
Beautiful. October 2nd, 2019. Peace Islands Institute.